Hey everyone, welcome into Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins alongside Jordan Spurgeon, and it is a very special episode of Bleacher Talk because we're heading into championship weekend. We are all so excited. It is the week we've all been waiting for, isn't that right?
Yeah, so much going on. 4A through the Open Division. We caught up with players from all 8 teams at Barrow's Pizza this week, so you guys can see some of that. Chris Peterson produced that segment with us and brought a fun little game along for everybody to play, some vintage things that me and Claudia didn't really know some of that stuff either. So imagine these players who are just a couple years younger than us, a few years younger than us, they don't know them either. So very, very fun. And of course, social spotlight with Eliav Goodbye. So really good time. And quick picks with Bruce Cooper coming up now.
Cooper, so excited to have you as always, but how excited are you for this weekend?
Hey, I am really stoked. I mean, look, I know last week you posed a question to Jordan and I as it relates to the Open Division. Jordan and I both liked Saguaro to upset Liberty. That's exactly what happened. Now, I liked Chandler to beat Basha. That didn't happen. And so, look, I think this is going to be a really, really fun Open Division final. You got 2 dynamic quarterbacks, but yeah, I mean, from the 4A all the way to the Open, look, this it's on. I mean, I am really stoked.
It is on, and Coop, you are still on the lead. I don't know how many weeks now you have been in the lead. I don't think you've even lost it. So congratulations. You're 29-15, but you were 1-3 last week. Spurs, on the other hand, was 0-4. So that's a great week for Spurs. I know he was really looking to crawl back up there, but he's 26-18. I was also 1-3. So I'm 23-22. So I'm kind of out of it, but I feel happy because we all know several weeks ago I predicted Basha would be here. So I'm just going to take that as my W and move on. So I think what better time to just get into our first matchup, Snowflake taking on ALA Gilbert North. And Bruce, I'll have you kick this one off for us.
Wow. Hey, you talk about your classic offense versus defense. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. I mean, look, ALA Gilbert North. I mean, what can you say about Adam DeMonte and Brandon Phelps? You know, it's like Montana to Rice, if you will. I mean, it's just been a joy to watch. I mean, I just don't see anyone, including Snowflake, which I was reading up, they only allow 10 points a game. Wow, and that's phenomenal. You talk about a team that really flies to the ball defensively, all 11 hacks. I mean, they get it done. But look, DeMonte is really special. I mean, what they have going on over there, it's to me, it's tough. It's just tough to ignore. And keep in mind, both ALA Gilbert North and Snowflake were in the 3A division a year ago with Snowflake winning it on. I believe Gilbert North lost in the semis there. And here they are meeting up in the 4A for the championship title. And I'm just going to do it. I'm going to call it like this. I like LA Gilbert North to be the 4A state champions. I like them 35-21.
Bruce, I'm actually really excited about this matchup. I think I'm probably the only one between the 3 of us that got to see Snowflake play in person. And I saw that against ALA Gilbert North when they hosted them up in Snowflake. And yes, okay, we're talking ALA Gilbert North. You brought up the 2 guys that we're all probably going to mention, Adam DeMonte and Brandon Phelps. You'll see them later on in the episode. But that offense is so explosive, and they're great leaders on the team. Now, when they played Snowflake, I've got to be honest, it didn't look good for Snowflake. I left in at halftime, and I thought they were pretty much going to blow Snowflake out of the water. However, when I left, they were losing by like 20 points, I think. However, the final score was 31-21 in that game. So Snowflake did come back, which was so surprising to me. So I think the way that they're able to just turn it on is something that I'm excited to see in this game. And there's a revenge factor here for Snowflake, but also when we look at ALA Gilbert North, because they lost to Snowflake 2 years ago in the championship. So when we bring in this revenge factor and the fact that I'm a couple games behind and it can't hurt for me to choose the opposite of what I think you guys might choose just to see what happens. I do like Snowflake. I think they're a really, really talented team. And this is just, they're no stranger to championships. They are champions. That's basically what's bred into Snowflake, and we've seen it the last few years. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip the score from when they hosted ALA Gilbert North. So I will say that Snowflake is winning this one 31-21. All right, Spurge, there is an advantage to you picking opposite of Bruce. What are you going to do here?
So we'll get that out the way. I mean, 3 games back, if I were to pick all 4 different than Bruce, it could potentially be a Hail Mary for me. But I do want to say too, ALA Gilbert North, they're the only 1 seed in a championship game in these 4 divisions. That just shows you they've been the team in 4A all season long. Like Coop mentioned, first year in 4A for them and for Snowflake. But because of the situation I'm in, trailing by 3 games, and because I do believe, like you said, Snowflake had a great second half against ALA Gilbert North, and it's hard to beat good teams twice. You don't see it all the time. You look at Liberty, they couldn't beat Saguaro a second time. Basha was able to beat Chandler a second time. So sometimes it's a bit of a toss-up depending on the caliber of team. But I think it's difficult. And so not a knock on Adam DeMonte and Brandon Phelps. It's one of the best duos in the state. I think Adam DeMonte is easily a top 3-4 quarterback in this state, and I think he's going to have a very successful collegiate career. But I do think Snowflake's defense is going to play big at the end of the game. Give me Snowflake 21, ALA Gilbert North 20.
All right, I like this Spurge on my side here. So either Bruce is just going to win by a landslide, it sounds like, or we're going to give him a little run for his money there. All right, the next matchup, 5A, Higley and Cactus. Spurge, I'll let you pick this one back up.
This is going to be a fun matchup. I know we're catching up with Higley later at the championship luncheon, and we may or may not have been called out on Twitter, all 3 of us, for picking against them. We were in the Huddle Film group chat that week for picking against Higley, and Zuby had a fun time with that as well. But they're in this position, offense stronger than defense, at least last week for them, and it's worked for them all season. And even in the situation I'm in, down 3, don't get me wrong, Cactus has had a really phenomenal season. I know we discounted them last week and they took it to Notre Dame Prep, but I just don't think they're going to have enough firepower to overcome what Jamar Malone and this offense bring at Higley. So we'll see how everybody else feels here, but I think Higley's going to win this one. I think this might be not the closest game of the weekend. I think Higley's going to win this one by 13. Give me Higley 33, Cactus 20.
I'm going to be honest, because of the kind of shade we were thrown from Higley. It was all friendly. We were told, don't pick us, because it worked out for them last week. And obviously it's a little fuel to their fire, and they use that as motivation. Once again, if I look at where I stand in the standings, I want to pick Higley, but I think this is going to be a really fun matchup. And let's be honest, guys, this is not the matchup that we expected to see. When we looked at the teams that were available and in the position to end up here, I didn't think Higley Cactus, which continues to prove we like to be proven wrong. That makes this all the more fun. Cactus has a really strong defense, and I'm impressed with their offense, though, because they got through Desert Mountain's defense. Like, that is one of the best defenses I've seen. So for me, this is a toss-up, having not seen Cactus. And okay, Jamar Malone, where am I going to go here? I think I have to pick Higley, even though they told us not to. But I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go Higley. Oh, we might get some hate for this. Oh, no. I think either way, it's not great. But I'm going to go Higley 25-21. Coop. Cactus?
No, look. Hey, Cactus, they used to have a good defense offensively. I mean, look, Will Gavin's Mr. Do-It-All, Mr. Everything for that Cactus Cobra team, and Brian Billis has him playing some really good team defense there. But let me tell you something. When I look at what the numbers Higley puts up offensively, they have a quarterback in Jamar Malone, over 4,500 total yards and 52 touchdowns he's accounted for. He has 2 receivers in Carter Hancock and Dom Esposito, each over 1,000 yards receiving. A running back in Dax Hall, over 1,000 yards rushing. That's a lot of offense that they and talent they put out on the field. And I just don't think that Cactus will have enough to keep these guys out of the end zone. I don't think they can play up with them offensively. So I think offense wins here. So give me Higley 45, Cactus 25.
So we didn't talk with Cactus about this, but I think we just gave them bulletin board material 2 weeks in a row. So if they win the title, we'll be right there to let them know.
I'm nervous about the fact that we all just picked Higley after they told us not to. So y'all are watching over at Higley. We're believing in you guys. Just love us for that. Anyways, let's move on to our 6A matchup before we get into our open matchup. Pinnacle and Highland, 2 teams I'm pretty excited to see in this position. Coop, who do you have? Is it the Pioneers or is it the Hawks?
Oh, geez. You know, look, I know this for a fact. Brock Farrell and his Highland Hawks, they thought for sure that they would be an open division team. They're not. So what they're looking to do now is add another trophy in their trophy case, a back-to-back 6A state championship title. Standing in their way, Pinnacle Pioneers, who I didn't see at all in this position. Look, we all marvel at the talent that Pinnacle has offensively. Deuce Robinson, #1 player in this state. Miles Libman. Yeah, they have a lot of skill and talent on that side of the ball. And man. I love the way Highland plays defensively. I mean, their defense is no joke. I mean, it's one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the state. Their quarterback, who was ineligible to start the year, has really come on and given a little bit of something. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Highland Hawks to make it back-to-back. I'm going to like Highland 21, Pinnacle 17.
Highland's a team that didn't just think that they were going to be in the open. They wanted to be in the open. And I think it would have been interesting to see that. And yes, I agree. I didn't expect to see Pinnacle in this position. And you know what? I have bet against Pinnacle, I think, a few too many times this season. They've continued to prove us wrong. Deuce Robinson last week was an absolute beast against Castile. He had 4 touchdowns. I mean, even I can't tell you, Brad was at the game. Obviously, his son plays for the team. Unfortunately, it was his final game of the season. But he called me after, and I don't know how many times he was like, I don't know, the last time I've seen this happen. This kid is incredible. The dude's a stud. And yes, that doesn't make a whole offense, but it is a very high-powered Pinnacle offense against that Hawks defense, which I do think is one of the better ones, once again, that I've seen. I think this is the defense that could stop Deuce Robinson, but I'm going to say they won't in this game because I am going to go against what I have said all season long when we've had Pinnacle in the matchups, and I'm going to choose Pinnacle in this one. I'm going to go 24-20. All right, Spurge. This is going to be a real test of like what your game plan is here.
Yeah, I mean, I've already agreed with Coop once, so I think right now, I really like what Pinnacle's about this year. I think there's just a different aura about them. Like you said, I think we've all sort of discounted them at this point. It's never been a knock on talent. Pinnacle's never short on talent in any year. It's just been, is everything going to come together defensively in the trenches? That seems to be the 2 places that I've heard over the years with Pinnacle. And so far, it really has for them in this postseason. I mean, you don't just drop 49 points on a Castile team without having everything taken care of, not just with your weapons on the outside and Deuce and Miles, but with your quarterback, Wyatt Horton, who's really playing big time for a sophomore quarterback. And then the offensive line is doing the job as well. And so I do think this could end up being a somewhat high-scoring game, despite Highland having a top 3 defense in the state. In my opinion, they're one of the top 3 defenses in the state. So I do think that Pinnacle is going to win this game, and it's going to be in the score somewhere around 32-27.
All right, guys, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. We are finally picking who we believe will be our open division champions this year, and we'll have the title of the best team in Arizona for at least a year. We'll have to say it. All right, we know who I'm going to pick, so I'm going to go last because I've been saying it for a few weeks. So, Coop, big time matchup here. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state of Arizona, some of the best in the country. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the headliner here. I mean, Devin Dampier against Damon Williams, and let me just say this: I really like the way Jason Munz has his team really focused and wired in. We've heard the talks. We know his team has that this will be his last game. He'll be moving on from Saguaro, and all the rumors linking him to Dillingham and ASU. But they've been able to separate all of that. All of that. I mean, very impressive what they did against Liberty Lions. Are you kidding me? I mean, the resilience that team showed to even come back from 2 scores down. So hats off to Jason Munz, hats off to Saguaro. They are showing their championship pedigree for sure. Devin Dampier, no stranger to this stage, no stranger to this time of year. And so you kind of like the experience there, because Damon Williams and Basha, this is their first time ever at this level, this stage in the game. And so, yeah, they'll be nerves, but there'll also be nerves on the side of Saguaro. But once the game kicks off, that goes out the window. And having said that, last week I took Saguaro to beat Liberty, but I took Chandler to beat Basha. And the fact that Basha not only beat them but shut them out, that tells me that I'm not giving Basha enough cred. I think I'm going to listen to Claudia Collins on this one. I'm going to take the Basha Bears to win their first ever state title. Again, nothing. You can't say anything negative about Jason Munz and his Saguaro SaberCats. They are all of that. But I'm going to take Basha. I'm going to take Basha to win this one, 28-27.
Hoop. I know that you mean every word of what you just said, because I fully did not expect you to pick Basha. So I know it's not a knock on Saguaro. All right. I feel like this sets you up pretty good, Spurs. What are you going to do here?
Yeah, we may be playing for a tie. It's hard because, Claudia, I know you've been calling Basha for about 5 weeks now. I remember when they lost last year. I remember going up to Damon Williams and saying, "See you in the championship next year." I said that. I don't go out of my way to say that stuff with any player ever, but I just knew back then, a year ago, that we'd have them in this position. I knew they'd be a team that could win it. So what I was doing, it's hard to put a thumb on it. And yes, one player doesn't win games for you, but everyone around the state, other players at different high schools that aren't playing, that we've had the chance to catch up with the last week, they call him playoff Devin, playoff Dampier. Like, he's that guy. We saw it last year. You plug him into a Saguaro offense that was already rolling, just runs through the playoffs, gets to the championship game, takes down Chandler. Chandler's first loss in a championship in 6 years. This year, once they finally got through the toughest part of the schedule and kind of learned who they are and the young players developed, and they got to a point in the season where they can fully unleash him without worrying too much about injury. Because I do believe early in the season, you don't want to unleash Devin to run and use every part of his athleticism immediately, because you never know what could happen. He can get run down, things like that. It's a championship game. All bets are off. So I'm taking playoff Devin and the Saguaro SaberCats in this one over Basha. I'm going to say the same score you did, Coop, 28-27. This is going to be an all-time classic. I really believe this game is going to be really, really good.
I cannot disagree with what you just said. This is, everything you could want in this position. Saguaro, Basha, two of the best rosters, top to bottom, star-studded. If you look at the number of guys on each team that are D1 bound once college or once high school is a done deal, it's awesome. I've been telling friends of mine that don't care at all about high school football, like, you got to go to this game because it's a really, really exciting matchup. The other thing that I think is interesting, though, that you said is that Devin is that guy, but heck, so is Demond. To me, I know I've said it before. I think Demond is the number one quarterback in the state. I haven't made that a secret at all. However, I haven't seen Saguaro since they won the Open last year until they played Liberty. And I'm having a tougher time going with Basha now, but I'm not backing off on what I said at all, because I still fully believe in Basha the way I did 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Saguaro really impressed me in that matchup against Liberty. Being able to go through with that 2-point conversion and winning the game in the final 2 minutes is really what it came down to. And the way they just turn it on and they're so explosive. That was for me, that Saguaro Liberty matchup is the most exciting game I've been to all season. And I've been to some pretty fun games. But seeing Saguaro turn it on like that, I think did kind of make me question a little bit. Okay, maybe this is I could see it going one direction or the other. To me, the two most dynamic dual threat quarterbacks in the state going head to head. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. That's the only place where I disagree, because that Liberty Saguaro matchup was so high scoring, and I could see that back and forth. One scores, the other scores. I could see that same kind of energy, like, oh, you got a touchdown? All right, my turn. That's just the attitude that I saw last week. So I'm going to make it a close game. Basha winning, though. Let's go 39-34. So 2 for Basha, 1 for Saguaro. I'm a little surprised, I'm going to be honest, but oh my gosh, what an exciting lineup of games we have this week for our.
And if I happen to, me and Coop were different on 3 games. So if I happen to tie, we're going to have to spend the rest of December thinking about a tiebreaker when we come back to do a group show in January, because we'll have to think of something. It's football, not football overseas. There's no tie.
I just thought of it. I'm going to host a trivia on Arizona high school football players. Like, you have to match the stat to the player or something like that. So we'll make that the tiebreaker if it turns out.
That saves the rest of December's thinking right there.
There we go. Hey, well, Coop, it's been so fun doing this with you all season long. Maybe next time we catch up, you're either going to be our Quick Picks champion or competing to officially claim that title after some trivia. But you're going to want to stick around. We had a great time over at Barrows and Gilbert, catching up with a bunch of players from all of our 4 games that we're going to be at this weekend. It's a ton of fun. Stick around.
Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins, and we're having too much fun here at Barrows Pizza Championship Luncheon between the 4A and the Open Division teams. Claudia, this is a different setting here where we're getting to know all the players ahead of their big games.
And you know we always like to have fun, so we had to break out a few toys that don't belong to us. They belong to our producer, Chris Peterson, on the other side of the camera. Got to shout him out for keeping so many vintage items so we can chat not just football, but kind of see how they do under pressure. Yeah.
And we don't do very well either, spoiler alert. So you can tell we're a little young in this segment.
Yeah. We had our moments for sure, but definitely a fun segment with all of these guys and getting to know each team individually ahead of championship weekend. We're here now with ALA Gilbert North Plus coach here with us today as well, and we're playing a couple games, but before we do that, we've got a big game to talk about this upcoming weekend. What are you most looking forward to in this matchup other than the potential for a title win?
I think it's cool that we get to play at ASU Stadium with our whole team, and really a brotherhood, so it's going to be awesome to play there.
I'm most excited for the experience. It's gonna be a cool thing for all our players to go play at ASU. It's fun. Not really a lot of people get to play in a college stadium, so it's a blessing for our whole team.
This has been a big season for you guys too. I mean, up to this point, I know maybe you haven't had too much reflecting time because you're looking forward to this game, but what's been some of the best parts of this season for you two?
The best part of the season I could say is having so much chemistry on the team. I enjoy coming to practice. I enjoy coming to weights. I enjoy coming to film because the guys are there and we all just love each other.
Yeah, same thing that Brandon said. I love the guys. We've created a great bond this season, through the summer, through the season, throughout now. We have one more game left, and it's honestly sad, but it's a great thing as well.
We're here with Snowflake High School. Thank you guys for making the trip down from the White Mountains, probably the longest bus drive. What'd you guys do to get yourselves hyped up for this whole week on the ride down here?
Well, we knew it's going to be a tough game on Friday, so we grabbed an iPad and we're just watching the film the whole time, take 5-minute breaks when we get bored, and then go right back at it.
Some of those breaks, I mean, is it just you guys kind of, chatting it up, roasting each other, having fun, sleeping? What is it?
It's always a little bit of all of it whenever we're taking breaks, but yeah, mostly we worked on a little bit of homework too, laid down, stretched out our legs a little bit. But that's pretty much it, yeah.
This will be a rematch for you guys. What did you learn in that last game that's going to help you prepare and hopefully get the title out of this one?
We just got to come out strong, have a solid first quarter, can't give up the big plays, and execute our game plan, and we think we got a good chance.
And we're here with Higley, and you know what? We're just going to get the elephant out of the room. Last week, we all picked against you and Coop, and you guys are here now. So I know you guys saw it.
You're welcome.
Maybe we weren't the only ones picked against you, but what's it like being here now knowing that maybe people counted you out a little bit?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, we texted in the Huddle group chat with the video link, and we all used it as fuel for the game. So we really appreciate you guys for the fuel.
Offense over defense. I was wrong.
When you look at your team this season, what separates you from previous Higley teams?
I mean, just how we play as a team. I mean, bonding together. I mean, we knew in January when Coach said it best, we'll have, about 30 returning people that have varsity experience, and we could be a great team if we just put our minds together and work hard.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot in the off season to get to where we are now, and it obviously has paid off, and I'm grateful to have all the guys that are here with us today to be able to go out and play Friday night.
I feel like in years past, the teams have been very separated, and so I feel like this year we're have tight chemistry and we're really good together, and I think that's why we've made it so far.
We're here with the Cactus Cobras, and guys, this is a really cool day for you. You're getting ready for a state title game this week. What does it mean to you just to be in this position this year and playing potentially for the gold ball in a ring this year?
It means a lot, seeing as we were discounted after our earlier parts of the season when we weren't on our road. But as soon as our 5th game hit, we got our transfers in, we started rolling, and I mean, as you can see, it's taken us to a great lengths.
I think it's very great for us. These seniors have been putting in a lot of work since their sophomore year, so I think it's great for them to see the ASU for once and bring home that ring.
How would you describe the bond of your senior class and your team as a whole?
It's pretty good. We all joke around. We've known each other since we were younger. All played young ball, and then for the younger upperclassmen, they're always with us. We brought 10, 15 freshmen up with us, so they're included in everything we do. Help us on scout team, give us a good look, stuff like that.
Same thing, yeah. We're all close. We all hang out after school. We all go to places, and we just really close. We treat each other like really good, close family to us.
What did this program learn from last year's experience in the Open division, where maybe there was a chance for you to have gone all the way if you weren't in the Open, but instead you played some of the best teams in the state? Now this year you guys are a little bit different, but you get to play more in your region.
That size doesn't matter no matter how much you want to put it up. I mean, we did all right against Saguaro. I mean, obviously it wasn't in our favor, but now that we're in our own competition, our own ground, I think we'll be fine.
We're here with the Highland Hawks, a team that was arguably supposed to be potentially in the Open, but you're still in a championship game. How does it feel to be at this point?
It feels great. We'd rather be in the Open, but we're at a state championship game. It's amazing. Couldn't ask for anything better. We've been here 2 years previous, so we're getting used to it, which is awesome, and it's just awesome to be back.
I told the coaches I wanted to play till December. It would have been cool to play in the Open, but the main thing was just playing with my brothers till December. So,
you mentioned obviously 2 years, a loss and then a win, both against Chaparral. So you guys have played in these moments before, but for you two personally, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from those 2 championship games that you can take into this year's?
To enjoy it, really. I was a sophomore when I was starting my first championship game. It felt like yesterday, and now I'm already my senior game, my last game ever. So it's it's an awesome experience to take serious, but also just have fun, enjoy it. Playing in ASU Stadium, it's an amazing experience to just these are the memories you're gonna have forever. So.
The one thing our coach said this week, it's you have to beat the state championship before you beat the other opponent. So whoever wins the state championship and the overhype about everything about it, that they're going to win it all. So I think that's just the biggest thing, and then playing for your brothers.
We're here with the Pinnacle Pioneers heading into state championship weekend. I'm sure it's very exciting for you guys. What are the emotions around getting a shot at this?
It's definitely really cool. Obviously, this is our first time in history, so that's definitely makes it an amazing moment. But it's kind of just a surreal thing.
Yeah, like Miles said, it's just kind of unbelievable. We've worked essentially our entire lives for this week, for this moment. So to be able to go out there and try to prove ourselves, it's what dreams are made of.
And for you two specifically, I mean, obviously this offense has been explosive. You guys are a very big part of that. Huge game against Castile last week, erupting for that many points. I mean, what's it been like just seeing some of the fireworks go off with you guys this season and the rest of your offense?
Well, we definitely take a lot of pride in that. We like to tell we're the best duo in the state, so we definitely take a ton of pride in that. But just kind of we've dreamed of this all since we were freshmen, just exploding off like this. So
being able to showcase our talents, like Miles said, we feel like we're the best duo in the state, and possibly in the nation. So to have been able to prove that this season and continue to do what we do, it's been a blessing. But we wouldn't have been able to do it without the work of our offensive line, without Jacoby carrying the rock, Wyatt coming in, stepping up, and then the way our defense has been working. It's a team thing.
All right, now we're here with Bachelor High School. We've got Day Buchanan, Cole Martin, and this game isn't necessarily anything new for you guys. You guys got a taste of it before when you were at Hamilton. What are you guys bringing to this team now that you guys are here? You've accomplished your goal getting here with Basha, and now you're one game away from winning it.
I'll start off. Being able to play in that game before and really experiencing, what a state championship is like, it's a big feeling. Getting there is a great feeling. Getting there makes it something that is an accomplishment in itself. But to be able to go against a top team, a team that's done the same thing to get there, with great players that have the ability to do great things on the field. It makes it all but worth it. So, to be able to have that experience is amazing. To be able to see what we could do with it, I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, like Coach Mack said, the Basha community's been behind us a lot during the playoffs, like almost a lot more than any other school. And like he said, this team has been a first for a lot of things to happen in this school. So we just want to bring the first school championship and just make everyone proud.
So you go from facing Chandler twice this season, beating them both times, and now you're playing a team in the championships that you've never played before. What excites you about playing a team like Saguaro that obviously won last season and has a lot of talent? What excites you about that matchup?
Well, obviously, since they have a lot of talent, we look forward to playing them. We always want to play the most competitive teams, and I think we're 4-1 against top 100 teams in the country right now. So, we play best against the best. So, Coach, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
100%. What he's saying is, our mantra this year is, we got to play in the moment. When we're in a game and it's a good team, we got to step up. We got to play our best football right then and there. So, we try day in and day out to work to be able to do that, and it's all paying off.
We're here with Saguaro High School, the defending Open title champions, looking to repeat this year. What is it going to take for you guys to repeat, and what do you think it'll say about y'all as a team and as a program if you do?
Yeah, I keep preaching every week. We've just been playing Saguaro football at the end of the day. There's not too much that we really need to change up. We're just going to be us. But I think what's really going to show winning this game, it's almost like that brotherhood that we were able to build. Started the season, we had a lot of new alignment. We got a lot of young players, sophomores and freshmen playing. So we were kind of all separated. We weren't really together. But after losing a couple of times, we all had to come together to make this run to be here again. So yeah. I think that's one thing.
Yeah, that was big. I feel like the losses, those are just as important as the wins. It really brought us together as a team. And I feel like that's really going to show, Saturday for sure.
Hey, before we get to our next question, we were having you guys flash these things to the camera. Why don't we go ahead and flash the ring to the camera since we've got them on right now? Your little GoPro camera right there. Yeah.
That's what they're playing for a second one this year. Speaking of that, you touched on, the start to the season. You guys played some of the best teams in the country, one of the toughest schedules in the country. Coach Mon scheduled it that way for a reason. It seems like it toughened you guys up. Were you guys ever listening to any of the outside noise of what was going on? I know internally it's been 7 straight weeks of playoffs for you guys now. What's it been like this season?
Yeah, to start off, there was a lot of noise. A lot of people were like, Saguaro's this their fall-off years, things like there's no way they're going to make it back into Open and everything like that. Just hearing that, it really bugged me as a senior. I didn't want to be part of the fall of Saguaro, or I didn't want to be known as losers. So I talked with our captains, which is all here today. We had a long talk about how we're gonna fix what's going on, and we're gonna start getting back on our grind. So those early games, I think it definitely set us up for success later on in the season.
Yeah, I feel like
For sure, especially like to our younger minds. We have a lot of young dudes on our team. You know, when they hear that noise, you know, you just gotta be that guy that comes to them and be like, it's time to get focused. You know, just keep working. Forget about what they're saying. Just keep doing what we do, and we'll have success. It'll come as it goes.
Well, we got a game for you guys. We don't really know what's in here either, but it's called What's in the Bag. So what we're gonna have you do is put your hand in the bag, move around a little bit, grab something, take it out, show it to the camera, and then guess what it is. We don't know probably any of these things either.
And
so
we don't think anything's dangerous, if that helps.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
man. A cassette tape for a cassette player, the one you have in your little pocket and the headphones come up to it, like the 80s or 90s when you're grooving out.
I think not quite. No, I don't think that's quite. It's an 8-track too. It looks like.
It is an 8-track.
It's a book. It looks like, or no? From the 70s.
That's before the Walkman, which is what I think you're describing. The Walkman that you plug in.
I had a
think
Walkman.
It's before that.
I did.
I think. It looks like there's songs. It's got 4 things on it, 4 tracks. It's all right with you.
This looks like a book cover to me, doesn't it? Not like an album cover.
Or a country
like a children's novel.
It could be some country song.
All right, what's the official answer?
Alabama.
It's an 8-track, okay.
Zip, a disc carrier.
All right, what does it do?
Do you know how to use that?
Yes, take the thing. No, you just put it in the machine. Yeah, you put it in the machine.
There you go. Fujifilm too.
But what size is this? I actually don't know what it is either.
For normal.
Oh, I know this one.
I know.
I know this one. I know this one. So we all have phones.
Oh, is that a pager?
It is.
Bingo.
You saw it in a TV show or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was it the Motorola that gave it away?
I honestly had no clue.
The only thing I know about Motorola is the Droid phones that came out like before the iPhones. Oh, what do we got there?
My childhood is what we got there. Maybe not that specifically, but.
Oh. Is that a VHS tape?
VHS
it is
tape.
A VHS tape.
Go flash to the GoPro.
Show the camera. There we go.
Go ahead and show us there.
It probably doesn't work anymore anyways.
Bloopers.
Get it out the way.
Exactly. Oh. Hey, no, I know what this is. It's definitely a video game. I don't know what it's
Obviously, bro.
You look on the back.
I'm trying to see. Hey. Does it take batteries?
It takes batteries. We don't know if it works right now, but
yeah, bro.
It is a game.
No, I don't know what that is, man.
It's a game.
A game? So
it's a football game. There's like, when you turn on, there's like red dots, and you're able to go end zone, end zone. I didn't know that before either. It's an old school football game.
All right.
Some of our parents would have loved it when they were growing up, right? Yeah. Oh,
That's
God.
the first time we're seeing this one.
Oh my God.
Well, we know what that is, right? Sort of.
You got it.
We need an accurate guess, though.
It's got to be like a I'm going like 1890s cell phone. Radio station.
All right, please put a year on it. What's your
I
guess?
say 1990s home phone.
No.
This could be a. Am I wrong?
Boy, that's a cell phone.
Cell phone.
That's a cell
It's the
phone.
original cell phone, right? Imagine carrying that around, yeah. Getting a call. Hey, coach, sorry, what's up?
You got FaceTime?
Motorola, it looks like probably a voice recording something. I don't know.
It's a close guess.
What do you think,
Definitely
Coach?
use your voice with it.
That is a pager. Back before the time of cell phones, back in the day, right? That's how you got a hold of people. You sent them a page from your phone at home or your landline, and then they called you back.
I think Spurge just gave away that you didn't know what it was, because you don't use your voice with that.
No, you don't use your voice.
No.
I really don't know how a pager works. So
You don't. That just means
it
give
would-
me a call when you get around a
Yeah,
phone.
I would flash the number that whoever called you from, and then you call them back.
You got your payphone and called. Okay, now I get it.
right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, now I have to guess what this is?
Yeah.
We know this one.
Yes.
I think.
Is this the thing you put on your hip when you're running?
Close.
You could. There's nothing against that.
I have no idea.
Any guesses over here?
Maybe like a thing you like
I don't know, maybe.
It's a heart monitor.
It's not a heart monitor. Like a music thing, like one of those music things that they play.
Wrong.
Close.
All
I feel like
right.
Coach knows. Coach knows.
This is old school pager right here. Remember when I did pager right here?
What is?
Now we all have phones that we carry around, but back in the day, it was a pager.
That's
right?
old
Like,
people
I had
stuff.
to tell you
Old
to
people
do-
stuff.
Old people stuff.
Oh, here we go.
Show the guys, show the camera. Yes, yes.
It's a cell phone, but
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a brick phone?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the OG.
That's a
Yeah.
mic drop for you. You can.
All right, let's get to it. Oh, I know this. This is the
Go ahead, show the camera. Go ahead, show the camera.
Hey, this is a VCR tape. No.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
Tape recorder. Tape recorder.
So close.
It's a cassette tape.
Something of that nature. You gotta put it.
It's a cassette tape.
It's something of
Yeah.
that
Have you
nature.
heard of a Walkman or like
A what?
A Walkman?
A Walkman?
Is
Yeah.
that what you put that in?
Yeah, it's to
I've
listen.
heard of that.
It's like before CDs.
Okay.
We had
Put it on
cassette
the
tapes.
side, got the headphones on, you know.
That'd be
Old school.
I
You
did
gotta
have one
rewind
of those.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Those go in a
Okay.
Walkman, right? Yeah, I had a Walkman,
Oh,
and I
it's a
had.
cassette tape. And it's Nirvana. Timeless classic. Still listen to them to this day.
I don't remember. I know they flip, right? Don't they flip?
Your game, bro. I was supposed to tell you.
I had these.
Claudia's just stunned right now.
I can't even open it.
It's fun to watch
I
them
need
struggle,
help.
though, right?
Yeah, I mean, didn't you say you owned them? She's gonna snap it.
Towards me.
We got Chris Peterson, the camera guy back there, helping us out, producing this whole show. He's going to come out and break the fourth wall.
I literally had a Walkman, so the fact that I don't even know how to. I thought it like flips open.
There it is. Look of shame right there, Claudia. Look of
There we
shame.
go.
Because he knew what he was doing. She's like trying to snap it in half.
Yeah. Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins, and it's one of our final social spotlights of the year with Eliav. Goodbye. It's been such a fun time having this year, Eliav, but enough of the somber moment.
I was going to
We
say,
are the
it's
action.
not the last that we're going to see of it. Look out for it. NFF award show coming up next week. We'll have more social spotlight. It's just going to look a little different.
A little bit different, but last one in this format for the season. Championship week, and Eliav, I know you're going to bring the heat.
Oh, you already know I am. We got a special one next week, but every week is special, right? And it's in its own way. Of course, it's like our children. We love all the shows, right? We love all of them. So
No kids
you know,
here.
I don't know. She's married, so it's not fair. It's a little too real for her now. You know, we're still feeling this love. You know, but anyway, we're getting right into the love and showing love to our teams. Starting off with the top 25. Shout out to you, Claudia, for pointing this out for everybody because we love showing love. Basha, Saguaro, Liberty, all in the Max Preps top 25 nationally, where they belong and deserve to be, and showing off some Arizona high school football on the national stage.
And I want to highlight Saguaro specifically because they were kind of falling out of the mix for a little bit there, but proved themselves against Liberty. Really awesome to see these three teams all in the top 25. I think it puts Arizona on the map, but also I think it's been on the map. Like, it's been a couple of years now where Arizona high school football has proven that they're top four. I mean, I think it's Florida, Texas, California, Arizona. I don't know what the order is. Don't ask me, but those are the top four. And I think there's no question of it, especially when you look at this top 25. But lots of talented players on all three teams that made it into that number.
And once you start seeing a team that doesn't make a championship game in the best divisions finish in the top 25, that proves just how good the state is. Where now you're going to have three teams. Only one of them is going to be a state champ. You're going to have three teams likely finish the season in the top 25. That's a big thing for Arizona high school football. So super cool to see all the programs succeeding there.
Hey, Eliav, I'm going to throw this at you. It's I know I'm catching you off guard here.
Okay.
Who do you think's winning the Open?
Oh my God. Oh my. All right, folks. She already knows what I'm going to say. It's Basha, in my opinion, by a very, very small margin. I know Saguaro very realistically can make me eat those words, and I am ready for that as well. We're going to be there. It's going to be, I hope, a fantastic game, which it very well should be on paper. And I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm ready to be wrong or right. Either way, I know it's going to be a good one. And speaking of that, let's talk about the teams that are going to be there, feeling the excitement with practices at Sun Devil Stadium. This is what really it's about, where all these high school players get to experience this moment. Not everyone's going D1, not everyone's going to college. So this really is a special moment where they get to check out the locker room, see the field they're going to play on, feel the energy that is just going to be different on that special day when they go out and try and win that state championship. And I just love when they get a chance to feel that a little bit, you know?
It's always really cool getting to play at other stadiums. I know sometimes, some states, maybe they play in the NFL stadium, and others, they play at one of the high schools. And even here, it happened in 2020 at a high school, and there was nothing wrong with the 2020 championship at Desert Vista, but there is something about being able to play at a Division I school in their stadium with all their facilities and check it out. Like you mentioned, Elio, I think no one that I know really talks about that, but yeah, there's a bunch of players. This is going to be their final game. They're never going to play football again. And they're going to get to do it in a place where they get to be in a nice locker room and just kind of see the tour of everything ahead of the game, and then obviously play on the field. So it is really cool to see.
Something I can't even imagine doing. Obviously never played football, but I can't imagine what an experience it is for the guys. I will say, this is my time to say, like, fans, show up, show out, show up for your student athletes, your peers, your children. I'm sure the parents are going out, but even if it's a friend of a friend of a friend's son, go to the game, because all of these are really, really exciting matchups. And seeing Sun Devil Stadium, see, even my dog Mia is like, gotta go out today. But seeing Sun Devil Stadium filled up is unlike anything else.
Absolutely. And you might even catch some future stars. I don't know if anybody heard about it, but Purdy Fest was going down in San Francisco. And my God, Brock Purdy did a great job leading the Niners past the Dolphins for the win. That man did his thing, and his family was proud. Shout out to our guy, Brad Sesmat, for putting all the photos on Twitter of the family, loving the Purdy outing. 25-37, 210 yards, 2 tutties, and of course the 33-17 win. And I love that we've had a chance to talk about him so much this year. So shout out to Brock.
And I love the nugget that Brad got that he included in his article, just how Mr. Purdy was out working at a market that day, and all of a sudden he turns on the Niners game, or he asked to have the Niners game turn on, and the guy goes, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, my son's a quarterback on the team." He didn't know he was in the game yet. They turned it on. It's, "Oh, my son is playing now." And so as soon as halftime happened, he bolted home, and the whole neighborhood was already watching the game in his house with his wife. So really cool story there for Brock Purdy, and awesome to see him, getting his chance now in San Francisco.
Absolutely. That's all I got.
Thanks, Eliav. We appreciate it. Awesome job with Spotlight as always. And definitely stay tuned. Next week, Bleacher Talk's going to look a little bit different. We'll be hosting the National Football Foundation Valley of the Sun Chapter Awards show all over Valley Sports Arizona, and it'll be on our YouTube page. So definitely stay tuned for that starting, I think, Tuesday. So Tuesday. Until then, high school football championships. Follow all of us for full coverage. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great championship weekend, everybody.
Boom. Even better.